All right, mark the occasion here by changing my wallpaper to Andy, just enjoying life. Because that's how I feel right now. Been a long week and a half, however long it's been. But we are ready to go. Here's the site. NASCAR Racing Classic, updated with everything. Things look just a little different. Changed the colors around because red was originally the link color, but red, I wanted it to stand out as, hey, read this. All the manuals are still there. We're working on yearly calendar files. Again, it's just people in the Discord, the community, and I'm just the front man with the site. That's all. Here's NASCAR. Yeah, it's a fresh coat of paint on Papyrus, bringing life back to the classic era of NASCAR sims. Because I mean, this stuff has been dormant. It really has, and it's just a lot of us. A lot of us have a attachment to the decade of the '90s with NASCAR, and this has just been really fun, really cool to get this back going. You'll see the 3D FX wrappers instructions. That's self-explanatory. I'll walk you through kind of walk you through that here in a couple minutes. Game features includes all the NASCAR 99. We've put in the fantasy tracks. 1998 schedules, or 1998 drivers, 1988 schedules, and the pit windows at the Winston Cup tracks have shorter pit windows for just pick up and play, run some shorter races. You don't have to go in and edit the track files. A bunch of known bugs. Some tracks, usually the ones that were converted from other games, like the Disney track, for example, they'll like distort a little bit. It won't crash the game or anything. They'll just distort. You just hit the escape key and it'll fix it. Don't Alt-Tab to another program. Out of full screen. I'm pretty sure in windowed mode it works fine. We'll discuss the driver info little bug with the mouse. Yeah, the mouse can be tricky. The red ghosting in Voodoo. Whatever. Here's a list of everything on why it crashed. You just can read that. I won't itemize that. These are all the tracks or all the car sets, and I've kind of changed this layout to where we're coming across so many sets. It's so cool that people have been throwing these sets out to us. Brock Beard, if you're familiar with him, the YouTube channel, he just unloaded. He just backed up the truck into my into my email with about 12, 13 car sets from the 80s and 90s that it's just too daunting of a task to go through and apply that rating system I had come up with. So I just have a explanation here that, all these cars, there'll be different rating systems for each set, but I will examine them and make sure that they're at least consistent. And, the 1992 set you might run an entire season with the 1992 set at 100% difficulty, but then if you download a different set, you might have to run the season at 99% difficulty just because of the different skill ranges that creators use. But my suggestion is just to find a test track where you know how fast you are versus how fast the AI is at your, and then just change the difficulty rating for your championship season that way. It's an easy workaround. Editing track files, added a line about the truck lines because some of these relative strength for cars, and then you had RL. You have to change it to, or not change it. There's going to be another line called RELST, and those are the ones for the trucks. So just be aware of that. Add-ons and modding. I've removed everything from this page for now. I haven't been able to really dig in and figure out which ones really work with N99. It's all pretty much the same, but I couldn't guarantee that these are working, and I didn't want people emailing and getting into Discord like, rah, 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 rah. So, and then also, if you have any troubleshooting questions, please, if you can, use the Discord troubleshooting channel. It's just going to be nice to keep everything centralized there instead of replying to these comments. My Discord, the stuff in the Discord will take priority over the comments in my channel. I will eventually get to them, but I'm going to be focused on stuff in the Discord. But But yeah, we're gonna have how-to. I'm gonna have how-tos coming up this week for packing and unpacking the DAT files for the game, explaining how those work, showing you how to, essentially create calendars on your own. And also, if you're into customizing the calendars and adding the programs and stuff, I'll show you pretty much the rough idea on how the palettes work. And guess what? You're gonna have to download another paint program, Paint Shop 5 from like 1999. But that'll be in that tutorial video or whatever that is. How-tos. Tips, I've added some things about the replay system. We actually, in my testing, I made this number like 8 billion or something. But a couple people, Hobgoblin, shout out to Hobgoblin. He really saved us a lot of headaches. He was just of his own free will. They were running 100% races for fun, and they realized that the game was freezing on them, and we were able to figure out that it had to do with a replay length number that was way too high, and you'll read about that here. I have this set to 20 on my computer, which gives me roughly like an hour of replay footage that the game saves, and that's fine. So, and there was actually I mentioned this, there was a section on why did it crash, kind of the basic things on why the game will crash. Mirror options, this version that you download will have the mirror fixes in them, but this explains how to get rid of those mirror fixes, so you'll go back to the original mirrors, which have blind spots, but it's, personal preference, and you can fix them that way. Championship season, I explained that, and a couple of miscellaneous tips that didn't really fit anywhere else. Painting tutorial, I'll be able to, we'll start updating this page, because it's been head down, nose of the grindstone getting this build set up. It's been a lot of fun. I don't know if I sound tired or anything, but it's been a lot of fun. And a bunch of links, and then a list of thank yous to everybody. All these people that helped in the Discord, I just threw all their names into a randomizer, and this is how it popped out in this order. This is not ordered by importance or anything, just a random. And if you feel you should be on here, if you've helped at all, and I forgot, just let me know. I've tried to keep track. Let's jump into the game. You'll go here and install, and it's self-explanatory there. And the install comes with DG Voodoo in here, okay? And this is going to default open in windowed mode, because I've been modding and editing, and it's easier to open it's not easier. I mean, it's just better to open in windowed mode, and then you're like, okay, it's the game's working. Then we go figure out how to get into full screen. And I'm not an expert in DG Voodoo, but you go into this DG Voodoo CPL, and look, there's something right here, appearance full screen, but then you're like, what's all this crap? And then just experiment and figure out what works for your computer. I'm going to go with, I'll go with centered keep aspect ratio. And there you go. I didn't blindly do that. I know that's the one that works. But I mean, you can experiment with that. And if you really want to get into the weeds with that, you can experiment with all this stuff, find something that maybe makes it look better on your computer. But there's also another version of 3DFX wrapper to use, which I'm not an expert in it. I'm just like, oh, you need 3DFX wrappers to run the game? Okay, I'm going to download that and see how it works. But I'm not an expert on what it actually is or does. I don't know. But we'll go to a quick race here. There we go. You can see like that's crisp, and it's not like laggy at all. But I've noticed, at least on my computer, everybody's computer is going to be different. I have instructions on how to use NGlide instead. I already have NGlide installed. I'm going to remove those 3 DG Voodoo files out of there as I describe how to do on the site. And now I'm using NGlide. And I can go into NGlide and change settings possibly, but you're going to see here there's like a noticeable lag there. You see what I mean? So you can go into your N glide configurator, and there's probably something to fix here. I mean, aspect correction. I don't know. I just know my computer. You might be able to change this stuff. Again, I'm not an expert, but the benefit of the N glide is you don't. But I'll show you a problem with the N glide. Another problem with the N glide, at least in testing. You go into the driver info, and you can't get your mouse up there to the cars and trucks. There's a workaround for that. You just go into quick race, change it to trucks there, go back into driver info, and now trucks are selected. If anybody knows the solution to that, have better performance with N glide, just leave something in the Discord, or maybe do whatever. I mean, we're all in this together. But take you on another trip through the game here. The quick race, we have 1997 through 2000 schedules, all with the accurate logos for the races. Some of those are taken from souvenir pins. Others are taken from the actual programs. And the palettes in here are tricky. I'm going to talk about that in the tutorial video. Some of these could probably look better if I really rolled up my sleeves and found the best way to convert the palettes and everything, which eventually I'll tackle, and it'll just be like an update or something. But we have the fantasy circuits that I've kind of updated with the Schrute Farms 125 and the Blue Frozen Bananas 100. Those work with cars and trucks. We'll go to Red Rock here. And we're off and running, man. I don't have my wheel calibrated. Yeah, I have no expertise on your wheel, if it's going to work or not. You just have to kind of troubleshoot that on your own. I'm not an expert. But yeah, all the seasons are here. We got the Walt Disney World Speedway. Pretty awesome. Walt Disney World Speedway is one of the tracks that will become distorted, I've noticed in testing, and you can read about that on the site. Just a quick escape out of the game and jump back in, and it fixes it. Out of the race, not the game. Escape out of the race and jump back in, and it fixes it. And the cool thing, and I mentioned that in my other video, I spent some extra time here to really put some lipstick on the championship season, so they'll all have the race programs with accurate logos and everything. You can see these palettes it's just hard. This is like gold and green. It's tricky. There's a way to do it. There's some experts out there that would know how to do it, but this gets the job done for the time being. That's a cool one. This is what, 2000? What was this season? 2000, right? But yeah. And options. I mentioned, make sure you don't have these drawn up to 3939. Make sure you keep those a little bit down. It'll save a little bit of a headache. Sound, skidding, novice. This is the max opponents heard. That doesn't get any higher. And you're on your own with wheel calibration. Probably works with a controller too. But yeah, robust tutorials coming this week. Have fun. And just please try to join that Discord for troubleshooting. You'll most likely get an answer much faster from people that have helped. I'm not relying on anyone else in the Discord to help, but people are going to be there's going to be some common problems that takes 2 seconds to reply with, but I've covered most of those in here, the known bugs and why did it crash. So make sure you give that a read. And that's it. And maybe you might see some videos pumping up on the channel this week, because they're going to be stuff I embed in the site for how-to tutorials and things. But the future looks bright. So have fun. And again, please use that Discord for any troubleshooting questions you have. Thank you. Have fun.